Hey guys, it's your buddy NJ here. We've been building a lot of subway stations lately. Well, only two to be exact, but kind of bored with it. Want to do something else for a bit. So we're outdoors, and it just freshly snowed, and hopefully it won't snow while we're building this because it's going to look kind of crappy with snow all over it. But what we're going to do here is we're going to build a bar. Now, I took care of some of the grindy work ahead of time. We built a brick wall and we built a uh, a pattern tile floor. Now, this is clay, so we've got black clay and gray clay going on here, and this wall is obviously just plain brick. If you are 21 and you've been to a bar before, a lot of the bars in older parts of towns, like in old abandoned warehouse buildings or whatever, they kind of have that crappy, worn out brick that is just kind of the wall of the building, and surface mounted electric and all that on top of it. So we're going to go for that look here a little bit, and we're going to go with spruce for our bar top. So, and let's go ahead and grab a spruce door here too. Now, I don't know what's really going to make this one stand out. Normally we have um, kind of a standout feature of a build that makes it, that makes it pop. Everything else is kind of bland, but there's something that really draws your attention. But I think this is a much more balanced kind of build where we're going to go for that look that gives it more balance. So actually, before we place the bar top, let's go ahead and build the bar itself. Um, we're going to place a row of spruce in the back here, I think. Do we want to use spruce? Let's use spruce. We can always switch it out later. So we're going to place a row of spruce in the back, right up against the wall, and this is going to be the countertop. And yeah, we're going to edit this. It's probably a little bit too long at this point, but whatever. And let's start two from the end here, and we're going to make a 2 wide section. We're going to leave 3. We're going to make a 2 wide section. Actually, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3. Let's go 5 on the total length. Let's go 6 on the total length. Leave another 2 wide section, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll leave a 2 wide section, and then we'll leave 2 right there at the end, and we'll just build a little wall to block it off. Now this is going to be more of an interior design tutorial as opposed to some of the other ones where we did a lot of actual building. So I'm not even going to build a building around this, but I'm going to show you guys how to decorate the interior of the bar. So cauldrons actually make fantastic sinks. So we're going to place 6 of those in those gaps that we originally left in the build. Now, it doesn't have a faucet yet, so we're going to grab a tripwire hook, and you'll notice that they look just a little bit like faucets. So we're going to place our tripwire hooks above the cauldrons. So we've got faucets now. You could come to this bar, you wouldn't have anywhere to sit, you wouldn't have a counter, but you'd be able to pour yourself a glass of water and hang out. Great. Nobody comes to a bar to drink water. So let's go ahead and add some taps, and the most tap-like item in our Minecraft inventory is going to be a lever. So let's actually have them sitting up like that, kind of, the way that you'd see a handle for a tap with attached to a keg, where you pull on it and it pours beer or cider or whatever right out the bottom of it. And we're going to put 2 rows of those taps. Now, just for fun here, let's go ahead and name a few of these. We'll start on this end. We're going to go with the Raider Red Amber Ale. and maybe we'll go with notches nitro stout. And Skelly Shandy. And I need one more. Let's see. We'll go with the Golden Apple Cider. Alright, pretty simple. Names off the top of my head. I'm sure you guys can do better. Make them specific to your server that you play on, or whatever, you know. There's a ton of cool ideas you can use there. Let's go ahead and add the bar top in front of this. Now I would leave a gap of at least 2 blocks there. 2 blocks seems to be about right. And we'll just extend the bar top. Whoop. Damn it. Along the entire length there. Great. So we have a bar top. You know, you can walk up here, sit down, have a beer, have a cider, have a Coke, whatever you're into, and just chill. So, you know, this already a decent bar in and of itself, but you know, we're not gonna stop here. We aren't gonna build something that simple. So let's grab some slabs, and we're gonna use spruce for this again, trying to keep our palette relatively plain and simple. We don't want to distract from the main build with all kinds of complicated stuff. And we are going to put these on the top part of the slabs, or of the wall blocks, kind of haphazardly. You know, they don't have to be aligned in any particular way. We can just plop them down however we want. And we'll fly up there. Let's grab a few flower pots. And I really like Azure Blue, so let's grab some of that. And we're just going to take these little shelves and put some flower pots on them. And we're going to fill those up. You guys can use whatever flowers you want. You can leave them empty. You can put creeper heads up there or whatever. You know, actually looks kind of crappy with all the same. Let's go ahead and swap a few of these out. I guess the only way is to break the flower pot. Let's do both of these and the end one. And let's go with 2 different, well, yeah, let's go with an oxide daisy. Oh, no, that's the same color we were just using. Let's go with a poppy and a blue orchid. Well, those seem like pretty safe choices. So I guess the flowers do actually pop a little bit here. You know, they're going to be without that color on what's otherwise a relatively drab palette. Okay, so we have our bar in the middle of nowhere with no roof over it or anything like that. Now, you could use a ton of different things for the roof. We're just going to use some spruce slabs because, like I said, this isn't a building video, this is a design video. So we're going to run those slabs the entire length of the bar, plain and simple. No variation in the ceiling, nothing. You could do some really cool stuff up here. You could build, I guess, a system of rafters made out of logs. You could do all kinds of stuff. You could build an outdoor bar, you know, with fireplaces made with flaming netherrack. You know, you've got a lot of options, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to keep this ceiling relatively simple. Okay. And we've brought it out far enough here. Okay, now let's make a few small changes on the inside here. Let's grab some brown clay. brown stained clay. And back here behind the bar, we're actually going to swap out the gray for brown. And this just creates kind of a dichotomy between what you're seeing in the front and what you're seeing in the back. It's these small details that really make a build unique, make it stand out, make it not look as dead. Small details. That's what interior design in Minecraft is all about, is those small details. So, and we're actually going to bring this brick wall out 2 more so that it's even with the bar top, and it's looking pretty good. Let's name a few more beers here. Let's see, what's another Minecraft mob? I don't even know. Beetroot stout. Sounds nasty. Might as well add some hard avocado cider. Also sounds kind of nasty. And we'll let's go for a regular old Pilsner. And at the end, let's see, we've got a stout, we've got a pillow, we need a wheat beer. Oh, there's snow around, so let's go with the winter wheat. Okay, well, we've named all of our beers, and we've decorated the inside of the bar to some degree, but as you can see, there is absolutely no lighting. And even though you guys will see me build with Gamma Bright on 90% of the time, one of the biggest things that you do have to pay attention to when you're building in Minecraft is lighting. So let's go ahead, and I hate to do this because I really hate the way they look because of the stupid little pink end on them. But we're going to grab some end rods, and we're also going to grab some spruce fences. So starting 1 out from the end here, and 2, 3 off of the wall, we're going to place a fence post. Now I built the ceiling at the wrong height, it seems. I would build it 1 lower, that way the fence post connects to it directly. And then we're going to place a random filler block right here for a moment, and we're going to attach the end rod to it. And using that, we can create what looks kind of like a fluorescent light. Now, we built it 1 off of that end. Let's come over here to the other end of the bar, and we're going to fill in our wall. And we're going to have to take out a little bit of the ceiling to do it. Whatever. And we're going to come 3 off of the wall again, 1 off of the side wall, and we're going to place our fence post. We're going to drop that filler block, and we're going to place 4 end rods end to end to create our fluorescent light. Whoops. And then from there, let's see, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are 2 wide apart. Let's move them in by 1. Whoops. And 1, 2. So this one's going to be a little bit longer. I can live with it. If you're picky, you can probably find a way to make them all the same length. And it's mismatched. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to have an issue no matter what. Actually, that's as close as we're going to get. Okay, so let's delete these clay blocks. Now those are floating in midair. Like I said, if you change the height of the ceiling, you can triage that. I don't feel like rebuilding this whole ceiling, so let's see what it looks like if we just build a little bit of a dimple in the ceiling for the lights to hang off of. Okay, not bad, not bad. Alright, now, this would make a pretty good club, but not everybody comes to the bar slash club just to dance and do whatever. We want to add some chairs. So let's see, we're going to use some stair blocks here, and let's go for white. It's going to be a little of a stark contrast, but so far the real only strong contrast we have are the fluorescent lights and the flowers, so we could probably get away with building another, brightly colored object into our build, and we'll build it not all the way to the end, but we'll put down about 6 chairs here. And a lot of people like to use signs to create armrests on the chairs. So, walk down this line of chairs, and we're going to place an armrest on each one. And this is actually the same reason why I placed them 2 apart to begin with. So we have bar chairs. Now a lot of servers will run a mod where you can actually sit in the chairs. The servers I play on don't typically have that mod because it can be abused to dupe items or get into areas where you're not supposed to be, or something along those lines. Here on the end, we're going to place a few trapdoors. This kind of mimics those mats that you see that when they place the drinks on them and they slosh all over the counter, it sinks through the mat onto the counter itself rather than getting the bottom of the glasses wet. And we'll place those out to a distance of 4. So this is the area where you can walk up to the bar and grab a drink or whatever. And let's build a little quiet seating area. We're doing pretty good on time here, so I think we can definitely fit something along those lines in. We're going to extend that bar wall. I don't know how far yet. Just build it to whatever you feel comfortable with. And we're going to drop down. Now I need some spruce stairs for this, and also some spruce wood blocks. Whoops. And let's grab a little bit of glowstone while we're here in our inventory getting items for this build. So we're going to place the glowstone like that, kind of in an L shape, and then we're going to place the block or the stairs inside of that, and we want to leave an area 2 by 2 in the middle of that, and we're just going to block off the ends like this so you can't see the glowstone except from the top. At this point we've got our little booth. We can extend the wall around it and build it up to the height of the ceiling. Now I don't think my ceiling comes out this far, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And one more layer. Okay. And let's go ahead and fill in the ceiling. We had an issue with the last section where we built the ceiling at the wrong height. Let's go ahead and place it at the bottom of the block this time. This might cause an issue with your next level or something. Adjust as you see fit. Once again, we're interior designing. We are not building a building. So right now this looks kind of ugly. There's no table, there's no floor, there's just a bunch of snow, and that is obnoxious. So let's go ahead and tear out all of the visible flooring area in our bar. And I still have this gray and black stained clay on me. We're going to continue that same pattern we've been using into the new area here. So just alternate the blocks to create kind of that tiled floor look. And you can bring this out to any distance you need to. I recommend making the aisle at least 3 wide or it looks a little bit too narrow. Now we're going to grab those trap doors again that we were working with earlier, and we are going to cover up that glowstone a little bit so that it's not quite as distracting. Now it's definitely still visible, and the real reason we have it back here is mostly for lighting purposes. Now we have a little booth area, not really something that people can sit in, so let's grab these fence posts again and we'll make a flat area there. Now next thing we're going to do is we want to finish that table off, so we're going to grab some pressure plates. Wooden pressure plates probably look best, and we're going to finish the table. So now we have a table with a little booth around it. If you have that sitting mod, you can sit anywhere in this booth, maybe not on the corner pieces, not really sure about that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and grab these fence pieces again. We're using a lot of fence pieces right now, and we're going to bring them out and attach them to the ceiling 2 blocks away from the back wall, 1 block away from the side wall. And once again, we're going to use these end rods and a filler piece to construct some fluorescent lighting for our ceiling. And same as we did in the other room, we're going to grab those slabs and some flowers and flower pots. And why don't we go with dandelions this time, because we already have yellow from the glowstone. So these dandelions are going to fit with that same color scheme that we've been using. And we're just going to build little shelves up in the corner to place our dandelion pots on. Put the pots down, plop the flowers into them, and you have yourself a little booth. Now, if you really wanted to get in depth with it, you could always grab some paintings and yeah, put a painting on the back wall. You might come over to the bar area and maybe place one on this relatively plain side wall. Whoops. Let's try to get that 4x4 again. Oh, there we go. Okay. And maybe one right here. Let's try for a 2x2. And on the far wall, we probably have room for... let's try for a 2x2 right here. Perfect. Okay, so we have some paintings in our bar. We have little shelves with flowers on them. We have our taps, our faucets. We have a seating area with the bar counter in front of it. And we have lighting on the ceiling. Now, looking back on this, you can probably clear these little indents out because the ceiling does look a little bit plain right now. And let's go for a slightly different type of wood. We're going to go with dark oak because it is, let's go with dark oak planks. And it does fit that dark kind of grimy bar look that we're going for. Or not grimy, it's not really grimy, it's more of like, I don't know, whiskey bar classic look. And we're just going to add that little bit of variation in there with it. So, okay, well, we're looking pretty good behind the counter. We're looking pretty good in front of the counter. Now, what are we going to do with all this space outside? Well, you know, most bars do have some countertop space out in the main bar. You know, just seating area that's not right up against the counter. You want to have a private conversation. You don't want to be sitting next to strangers. I don't know what you guys do, but here's what we're going to do is we're going to build some standing tables. Now, putting seating out here would take up a lot of space, You could always clone these booths as many times as you want, but what we're going to do is we're going to extend our flooring out a few more blocks, and I don't think we even need to do the full length of the bar at this point. We just need to extend it out, let's say 3 blocks, because that's about how much we dug out here. Fill it in using that same tiled pattern that we were using before. Whoops. Okay, so we have a little bit of extra space here. Now, let's leave an aisle of about 2 blocks, and we're going to go back and we're going to grab the spruce fencing, and we're going to grab the pressure plates again. Now, you do have a few options here. You could use glass, because in one of the latest updates, let's see, what colors do we have going here? And we got a little bit of purple between the flowers and the end rods, so let's go for some purple glass. And we have white in the chairs, so maybe some white wool. Where's the white wool? Oh, it's just called wool. Okay. Yeah, great. And we don't want wool, we want carpet. So let's grab the carpet. And we could do either a standard table, which I think looks pretty good, or you could do, and we didn't want the glass blocks either, we wanted the glass panes. So purple glass panes, drop them on the ground, and you should be able to place a piece of carpet on top of that. And that actually looks pretty good too. Why don't we go with that one here, just because it's something I don't normally use. Give a little bit of interesting look to the bar. Now you could extend these and put wool along the top of them to create kind of a secondary bar area that you can gather around. Personally, I would rather use the individual tabletops there, because I don't like the way the panes look when they connect together like that. We can extend this for the full length of the bar. We can scatter them randomly around the room. If you have kind of a glass front to your bar or something, you can put them up against that. You might have the glass connecting, so you'll want to offset them by 1 or line them up with the pillars so it doesn't connect in a weird way. But that is an option as well. So, alright, well, it looks like the front area of our bar is pretty much done. If you wanted to do something in the back room here, or maybe even on the roof or so, you could always build a barrel. There's an interesting mod that people have been using, and it's actually called Brewery, which lets you brew alcohol, coffee, tea, other similar items in-game, and it actually gives you interesting status effects based on that as well. You can actually get your Minecaft character drunk, which is super pointless, but also super entertaining. So, I actually built this the wrong size here. The way brewery works is you have to build these barrels, and you age, you ferment, you basically manufacture alcohol in a process that is a simplified version of the actual process that would be used in real life to create that. But in order to build one of these barrels for the mod, you have to build it to look exactly like a barrel and place a sign on it that says barrel. The sign you can remove after the fact. And I think this one is actually not quite deep enough. I think it has to be 4 deep, maybe not. But you build the barrel, you put some legs on it. I believe you can remove those after the fact as well, if you want to. And then lastly, you pop this little spout on it and you've got yourself a barrel. Scatter these around, put them on the roof, put them in the back room, back here. You know, if you want to build a structure around it, you can have a whole row of them, all different colors wood. With the mod, the type of wood that you use will actually affect the type of alcohol that you get out of the barrel. So yes, and I do believe it has to be one deeper, but it looks pretty good the way it is. You know, you can put a little sign on there. Let's go ahead and do that just for the heck of it. Batch number 0001, Raider Red Ale. Okay. Well, I think that's all we're going to do for now. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to share any interesting bars you've built or any changes, modifications, or anything to this build, I would love to see anything that you guys come up with. So definitely post those links in the comment, post video replies, do whatever, and I'll take a look at it. It's always cool to see what you guys build, and that's it. This is NJ, and I've had a fun time building for you guys. Keep mining.